What's going on, everybody? Joe back here again. We'll get to this guy in a second, but I just wanted to start this one off. Welcome to episode 4 of Driving to the Draft. I don't even know if I'm fully in frame, but it's really more about him, so I'll just give you a quick channel introduction, as I always do, or a channel update. We finished up all of the Oath of the Gatewatch stuff that we wanted to put up for the release of the set. I can't promise you that that'll be it for Oath of the Gatewatch. You never know what comes out, what's coming up. We shall see. So definitely go ahead and give that stuff a watch. Obviously, episode 3 of this show came out last week. As I said, this is not a regular thing where it will be every week, but we happen to have a bunch, so here you go. This is episode 4. This guy over here is Dave. You guys know him from Team Titty Sprinkles in the Fate of Delmark. If you've watched that, he plays Jareth Dorn and Chad. And also, he's the man behind the camera in every one of our Magic the Gathering openings. So, I wanted to kind of have Dave on here as a guest. We'll have other guests in the future, we'll see. But I wanted to have Dave on here and kind of talk about his RPG, MTG, and YouTube origins the same way that I did, because the channel's not all about me. There are a big group of people here that participate, and so I wanted you guys to have a little bit of a background on Dave and who Dave is as well. So, Dave, we will start first by saying welcome to Driving to the Draft.
Hi, guys.
We are actually driving, so as usual, so as you see me looking around and trying not to get in car accidents, which I'm sure, hopefully, Dave, you appreciate.
Very much.
So, welcome to Driving to the Draft, Dave. I guess we'll start with your RPG origins.
Okay. RPG, I think, like a lot of people, as far as the technical term of it, I guess I started off with gaming. I've been a gamer for pretty much all my life, and like a lot of people, stuff like the Final Fantasy series really got me interested when 7 came out back in the heyday of 1997. It's coming up on 20 years.
That's very true and insane.
Yep. So yeah, when that came out, I didn't actually know what I was even looking at the time when I started playing that game, but the commercials were all like, oh, it's amazing. So I was like, I was a kid back then, so why not? But that was really one of the first major titles that got me into just the general field of RPG. And then as I went on, really even back in the day, it wasn't even just Final Fantasy. There was just a lot of, like, the JRPG boom happened back in the 90s and early 2000s. So there was just a lot of stuff to look at and really immerse yourself in the field. And then I just started really getting into the idea of customizing your characters, doing different things with abilities and stats and stat buildings, and I'm a very kind of organized person, so I didn't know it at the time, but that really kind of appealed to me. And then I had heard about Dungeons & Dragons, like everybody does at one point or another. I never really got to be part of that kind of thing. I actually did used to do stuff like mostly Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was younger, and then I did a little bit of Magic the Gathering, but that's, well, we're going to segment this, so...
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah. But yeah, Dungeons & Dragons was kind of that thing you heard about, or that I heard about, was never really part of. My very first actual foray into Dungeons & Dragons was with this guy not too long ago.
That's true. We did, because I mentioned we started the D&D game, and I told Dave about it, so yeah, there you go.
And that story that had me almost make a public scene.
Well, we'll get to that. You guys will hear about that story and many, many more from the D&D game. Stay tuned, more stuff to come.
Mm-hmm. And as far as Magic the Gathering, I guess there really isn't that much to tell, because I played it a little bit. I played with Joe a couple of times. I'm garbage at it. But what I like, and that I've actually discussed with a few other people, is Magic the Gathering these days, with their newer sets, they're really trying to branch out from just straight game playing and just the straight card playing part of it, and really be more like, oh, we have a story to tell. We have the Planeswalkers, we have a concept of the Planeswalkers, we have the Eldrazi, we have all these different crazy worlds and the avatars of all these elemental things, so it's like there's actually something to get invested in beyond just playing the game. I think that's fantastic, and even if I personally am not the best player in the world, I'm not. It's just really something to, like, I enjoy fantasy, I enjoy crazy out there worlds and weird concepts like planeswalking and all that stuff, so like it's just very interesting to watch as the story progresses and see these characters, see the story, see just the art and the different concepts that they're throwing around now. And like, I think that's a bold, great move on their part, and I'm really into it regardless of what kind of player I am. And then with YouTube, I actually have a background in communications. I have a bachelor's degree in communication production, so I have worked with camera equipment. I worked at a studio. I've actually worked in a public access studio behind the scenes for a little while, several years actually. But I'm also not the best at that either. But
he's being modest. There's a reason why we chose him as our cameraman. Go on.
Because I don't think he's a camera. It was either that or the train monkey. Train monkey wasn't there on time. He missed his appointment.
And you were the guy.
I swiped it out from under him. But yeah, I've had some experience working with the equipment, and we just started talking about the idea of like, let's maybe start trying to get the stuff together. And I'm like, sure, I know how to use the equipment, and like I want to practice a little bit more. So yeah, I mean, and as far as YouTube itself, I watch a lot of content. I watch, you've ever heard of him, Movie Bob, Nostalgia Critic, Screw Attack, the Extra Credits. Absolutely, if you're a game fan and you want to get into game design, absolutely check out Extra Credits. A bunch of different things, and I find it really interesting. It's at Game Grumps as well. I find it interesting that we're coming to a point in this day and age of the internet where people just seem to be able to put out the kind of content they want, and there's a difference between like we just put out whatever the hell they want, it's some idiot falling off a table and it's like, that's hilarious, or it's something that people are passionate about, something that they have a good knowledge base on, and something that they can express their opinions on, and they can be a voice, someone who has something interesting to say, and it just kind of becomes like it's giving TV a run for its money. I find that fascinating. I find it that there's no barrier between the kind of people who get to create content anymore. Like, and Joey was telling me a little while ago, the different types of YouTube personalities will go to the White House and advise the president on how to attract more youth and more the populace to get more involved in government, stuff like that. It's like they're looking to the YouTube generation and the people who put out content as the voice and representative of our society. And it's like, if there's any way that we can be part of that, even as far as gaming, Magic the Gathering, or just fun stuff, but that it's possible now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking to you on a camera. It's incredible.
It's true. And as always, I mean, thank you guys for watching. We always say that, but and I feel like a lot of YouTubers say that. Thank you for watching. Exactly. But it really does mean a lot, because otherwise, I forget who said it. I'm pretty sure. Oh, it was, I think Stephen Lynch brought it up. I'll name drop Stephen Lynch, but he brought it up as a joke, but we would look like idiots sitting here doing this if no one was watching. So no, we really, really appreciate it. We appreciate any kind of feedback, comments, tweets, Facebook messages, anything like that. We do read them all. We will get back to you guys. But for now, for this episode of Driving to the Draft, I wanted to say, Dave, thank you very much. We are almost to the draft at this point, and so at the end of the video, I will remind everybody, we do have a Facebook page, we do have a Twitter page, definitely check us out there. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. If you want to see more stuff, subscribe down below, check out the other videos on our channel. As I mentioned, we've got more Magic the Gathering videos, openings that just came out recently. You can see Dave's camera work. It has always been amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. You can check out Team Teddy Sprinkles in the Fate of Delmark to hear our voices playing different characters, and you can see more of that RPG experience, stay tuned to the channel, as I said, for more D&D related content, more of what we're already doing as well. And as I always say, guys, in whatever video you watch next, we will see you all next time. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.